Okay, all set. Well, hi everybody. My name's David Silverman. I'm just outside of Washington, D.C. And it's my wife Wendy there who just walked out the door. And my background is foot surgery. I've sold my practice here in the United States. I had my own foot and ankle surgery practice and surgery center, and I've sold my practice. I am very, very passionate about what we're talking about here, and it's a breakthrough. It is a literal breakthrough for humanity, and we all find out about it through someone we know. Very rarely does someone find out about it from just overhearing a conversation. We come to know that this exists, that it's real, that it makes a difference for it changes, sometimes saves lives, and we feel pretty obligated to tell other people about it. It is a product that was being developed as a drug. It is not a drug, and you'll see in a few minutes why it's very, very different. It, 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 it works different. It's not a drug. It works differently than a drug, and it helps the body basically take care of itself. I am on the company's medical professionals board. The company is called ASEA. The technology is called redox. I do not work for the company. I started as a customer. My friend brought it to me, my friend Debbie, who I adore, and she came to me and she looked me in the eye and said, "I love you. I have something really important to tell you." And I said, "What?" And that's how it started for me. And though it sounded a little bit too good to be true, I trusted my friend to at least look carefully. And I was very intrigued to do it and motivated to look into it because of my father. My father was ill. He had a severe prostate issue. So I took my investigation very seriously. I used Google as a search engine, not a research engine, meaning if you want to look at research, go to Google Scholar. But Google itself, people can write whatever they want on Google. And so I saw amazing things, people talking about incredible things that the product had done for them and their family, which was exactly what Debbie had told me had happened with her mother, with her joint problems and her breathing problem, and Debbie herself with a skin problem. And so that corroborated all of that. And then I saw people saying, "Oh, it's just salt water." And then I did a little research on the people saying it was salt water, and they all had motivation to say that for different reasons. They were either selling another product, trying to direct people away from ASEA, or they had ties to the pharmaceutical industry. And so I hope you do your own investigation in this. And you will be using this product one day. It is just a matter of time. It's not a if, it's a matter of when. It's when you take it seriously and say, okay, let's see what this stuff does. And I'm going to show you here how you can know it's real very, very quickly. So my wife and I have built a business around the world. We're not going to focus on this business here, but it became a business because when the product was developed, and this is the oral version, a pharmaceutical company offered to buy it. Now this is Virtus Norton. Virtus Norton is one of the founders of the company. We were on a balloon ride together. Virtus Norton was in charge of international strategy for a $38 billion company. There's a video that I'm going to show you in a second that I hope you write it down and you watch it because I don't have the time to go through this. But he turned down an 8-figure offer from a pharmaceutical company to buy this product. If the pharmaceutical company had gotten it, because it is so disruptive to the pharmaceutical industry, there's a good chance they would have taken it and made it just go away and buried it. And he said no to the buyout. And it became a word of mouth distribution channel where one person finds out about it, whether it's for their dad's prostate or for their son's cognitive problems, whether it's blood sugar problems, breathing problems, eye problems, ear problems, uterus problems, whatever the problem is, this person finds out that it's real. And they know it's real. They've seen it. They felt it. Well, they tell people about it. Whether there was a financial benefit to it or not, they feel obligated to. And so if that person was to educate 10 people about it, that's 10 more people who know about this breakthrough, right? And it makes this person feel very, very good. They helped 10 people. Well, those 10 people can do the same thing. They can tell 2 people each, or they can tell 10 people each. They can tell as much. So if those 10 people told 10 people, now there's 100 people that know about this breakthrough. And if those 100 people told 10 people, there's 1,000 people. So it became a network marketing company, but these were not network marketing people. They did not know how to get this out to the world because we can't make medical claims about it. But they noticed that people that were on the product told people about it. And it was not a network marketing company at that point. So that's created the opportunity side of this, but that's not what we're talking about here. If you have an interest in the opportunity, I do this presentation on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Singapore time, 3 p.m. Stockholm time. And I focus on the product, but I include the opportunity too. Here, I'm not talking about the opportunity, okay? So I advise you go to this website. You can see it, amazingmolecules.com, amazingmolecules.com, and watch the genesis of ASEA. It explains a lot about this. It'll be very, very worth the 16 minutes to watch this video. This is my family, and we're very, very grateful to Vertus because he did not sell this to the pharmaceutical company, and it is spread around the world. This is just about it. This is an article about a breakthrough, and it talks about ASEA, 5 breakthroughs that have occurred that are going to change our lives in the coming years, and ASEA is one of them. Pretty remarkable. So let's talk about what the product is, but first I'm going to talk about what it is not, so you can understand. It does not fit a category. This product is not a vitamin, a mineral, an antioxidant, an exotic juice, an essential oil. These are all important things, but this is not that, right? And it's certainly not a drug. It's created its own category of product. And it can do things. ASEA is the drink version, and Renew 28 is the topical gel version. And it can do things that nothing else can do because both of these products contain something that nothing else contains except you. You, animals, plants, we all contain what this technology is, and that's what I'm going to explain. So, but when you can see the word drug crossed out, there's a few things that make this product very different than a drug. 3 things, 3, that make it as safe as water, okay? And no drug is as safe as water. Why can drugs be dangerous? Drugs are good if you need them, but they have side effects, and there are other problems with it. Number 1, you could be allergic to a drug. You could die by taking a drug if you're allergic to it. You cannot be allergic to this product because it's physically inside of you already. Every person, 7.5 billion people on the planet have it in them, cannot be allergic to it. Number 2, it doesn't interfere with medications. It's inside of us already. And quite frankly, I'll tell you what it's made from. Our cells are filled with saline. Our cells are filled with salt water. And this product, this technology called redox molecules, is produced from salt and water. So it does not, it can't be allergic to it. There is no drug interaction. And 3, there's no toxicity to it. That's a big one. There's no toxicity to this product. A drug, as example, if it's aspirin or acetaminophen or any drug for depression, for asthma, for cancer, whatever a drug is for, if you take it properly, it's supposed to help you. You could be allergic to it, right, or could interfere with a medication, but if you took it properly, it's supposed to help you. You will have side effects with your liver. Your liver's got to process this abnormal, not natural thing, has to process it. It's going to tax your liver. But if that's the proper amount and you take too much more of it than you are supposed to take, then you will get sick because your liver won't be able to handle it, and other tissues, you could have problems with nerves, seeing, breathing, all things could happen by taking too much more. Now, if you continue to not listen to the instructions and you take too much, there's an amount that you take that will kill you. It's called the lethal dose. Every drug has that because it's toxic. This product doesn't have toxicity, and this has been proven. So it is very, very different than anything you've ever heard of, and it's very different than I had ever heard of. So what it is, it's the world's first and only cell signaling supplement. Cell signaling supplement. That's the drink. There are 2 topical versions of it, and the technology is redox signaling molecules, and that's what I'm going to go through here just a little bit. Now, I am not going to spend a lot of time on the science. I'll answer questions But if you want science, there are textbooks on redox biochemistry, explaining what it is, what it does inside of our body, right? And bottom line is, this team of scientists and company found a way to make it outside the body, identical to inside of us. Again, they have made something that they made it outside the body that is identical to inside of us. It's not close to being the same. It's not very close to being the same. It is identical. It is exactly what's in us. Again, that's why no one can be allergic to it. Now, when people are looking at this, they want to know that it's real. Now, I'm focusing on the product, but I'm going to explain what it is, but most people don't care what it is or how it works. They just want to know two things. Is it safe, and can it help me with my problem, or my father's problem, or my daughter's problem, or my sister's problem, or whatever, right? So I'm going to show you in a little bit how to do that, but I'm going to give you an idea. What you do is you just baseline everything in your health before you start, right? And then you're going to track your progress. If you look at these columns here, down the left side in yellow, you see all kinds of problems. What's your energy level? How well do you sleep? How many times do you have to go to the bathroom at night? How focused are you? Do you have mood problems, neurological problems, digestive problems, eye problems, breathing problems, overweight? Now, you don't have to believe that the product's going to help you, but you just baseline everything, right? Because I'll show you there's no risk in this. Do you have blood sugar problems, pressure problems, sex drive problems? Do you have discomfort in your body? Do you have stress, athletic performance? Take pictures of your skin, hair, and nails, because you're going to track your progress. And if you read this form, it says the health awareness and progress tracking form, with a product that's completely safe as water and comes with a money-back guarantee. So you don't have to believe it's going to work, but if you have a problem, you probably want to get rid of it and say, well, let me see if it helps, right? So what does it say? It says awareness is the first step to positive change. It is important to know your starting point and then track your observations for 90 days. It says evaluate you today before you start drinking ASEA and applying Renew 28. And if you're hurting, I'll show you in a few minutes how to have a very fast result with this, with the topical version at that little video 3 times in 5minutes.com. Then it says, so you started by evaluating you, and then it says reevaluate you in 7 days. Look at these columns: 7 days, 30 days, 90 days. People tend to often forget issues once they're no longer there. So you want to be aware of what's changed. Even with all you may be currently doing, including medication, supplements, exercise, everything, where are you today? And you baseline everything and you track your progress. This is the most important thing. You know, me explaining what this product is great. It really comes down to, do you have a problem you want solved? And knowing what the risks are with this. And there are zero risk. So what are redox molecules? Remember I said they're produced in the cell? Well, our cells are filled with salt water. It's saline. Inside of our cells, we have the nucleus, and we also have something called the mitochondria. And it's called the mitochondria, or mitochondria in Europe, because it is called the power plant of the cell, because it produces a molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that we burn for fuel. This has been known for decades. Well, what wasn't known was that these little byproducts called reductants and oxidants, which again were thought to be just a useless byproduct during the production of ATP, that these are not useless byproducts. And by the way, that's where the word redox comes from. When I was in medical school, podiatric medical school, and I was a biology major in the 80s, there was no term redox. They were called reductants and oxidants, and that was it, but no known function. Well, scientists have found that they are important for health, and what they do is they help our cells talk to hear one another. They help our cells talk to one another and hear one another. And they also have been proven through genetic double-blind studies that they turn our genes back on. Now, not just redox molecules in the body, but ASEA. Double-blind studies have been done on ASEA, which is exactly what's in our cells. They help our cells hear one another. Now, why is that important? Because if you have a problem in your body, I don't care if it's an ear problem, eye problem, brain problem, lung problem, it doesn't matter. It comes down to a problem with the cells the cells in that organ or tissue. If you have a retina problem, it's retina cells. If you have a lung problem, it's lung cells. And if you have healthy cells that are, let's say these are healthy cells, and they're functioning in your lung the way they're supposed to function, that's great. You don't have any breathing problems. You don't have any lung problems. You don't have any growths, right? Because the cells are healthy. But what happens if you have a bad cell? Now something happens to this one, right? Now the lung is not functioning properly. This one's functioning, but this one's not. So the lung's not going to function properly. So what can cause cells to go bad? Well, 3 or 4 things. Infection is one, right? The cell's infected, it's not working properly. But it could just be old and worn out. You know, our cells are constantly dying. Well, if they just die and sit there, then eventually you're going to have a lung disease, and then you're going to die because your lung isn't going to work anymore. But our immune system takes care of bad cells, gets rid of bad cells. So it could be old and worn out. It could be damaged by trauma, right? You have bad cells. You can see trauma if you get hit. For the damage, you can see it externally, but you get traumatized on the inside too if you have a traumatic accident. But it also could be mutating. You get a healthy cell, now there's something wrong with this cell. And if the immune system does not get rid of it, okay, and how does that happen? Well, what happens is the good cell detects there's a problem and it sends a signal. Remember, these are redox signaling molecules. Look at the top, signaling molecules. And this signal gets sent through the body, and the immune system cells hear the call. If the signal is loud enough, they come down, they grab a hold of the bad cell, kill it, dissolve it, get rid of it, and then the good cell that called for help replicates itself. And now you have a healthy cell. This is healing. This is what happens in healing. What do redox signaling molecules do? They amplify the signal. The more you have, the louder the signal, okay? The more redox molecules you have, the louder the signal for help. And if you have lower amounts of redox molecules, then the signal's not as loud and the bad cell can remain. And if it's a mutating cell, and if it's not taken care of, then you're going to have 2, then you're going to have 4. Now, not everybody has that problem. A lot of people do. Did you ever notice how children have less of it? As people get older, the chance of having that cell dividing disease goes up. Did you ever notice how as people get older, they have more diseases? Did you ever notice how when people get older, their skin changes? Did you ever notice how when people get older, every decade of life, if they have an injury, it heals slower? All you have to do is look at the mitochondria, because as we age, our mitochondria, when we're young, they're as long as you don't have a problem with a mitochondrial disease, our mitochondria are very densely packed, and they're producing a lot of ATP, and they're producing a lot of redox molecules. So if you have a lot of redox molecules, then the signaling is very loud, right? But what happens as we age, our mitochondria become less efficient and less numerous, and toxins too affect it, and we start producing less and less and less redox molecules as we age. And at puberty, it really accelerates. When you look at a 20-year-old compared to a 10-year-old, what are the differences? 20-year-olds are very healthy, generally, very healthy. They're faster and stronger than a 10-year-old, right? But they don't heal as quickly. A 10-year-old breaks a bone, it heals very quickly. A 10-year-old gets a cut, it heals very quickly. Children heal faster than adults. Now, a 20-year-old doesn't heal as quickly as a 10-year-old, but a 20-year-old heals faster than a 30-year-old, who heals faster than a 50-year-old. Sorry, got somebody texting me here, calling me. So the signaling goes down in the body. This is just life. They found a way to make these molecules outside the body. All you're doing is when you consume it is you're raising your levels up. You're amplifying the signal. ASEA doesn't heal you. ASEA doesn't cure you of anything. Your body does it. We're turning back the clock. We're giving your body back the amount of redox molecules it had when it was younger. Okay? So ASEA is redox signaling molecules, identical to our own. And by consuming ASEA, we replenish our diminishing levels of redox signaling molecules. Again, for people who are analytical, lots and lots of textbooks on redox biochemistry. Journals dedicated to it. There's over almost 17,000 studies on redox signaling molecules, which I had never heard of until my friend brought it to me. You probably never heard of it. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist because you and I didn't hear about it. But if you go to PubMed.gov, that's the United States' Library of Medicine, and put in redox signaling molecules, you will find over 16,000, almost 17,000 studies. Company sends the product out for third-party validation. I'm not going to go through this. Safety studies, athletic studies, wrinkle studies, circulation studies, and Bioagilitics is a company that pharmaceutical companies in the United States need to send their product to verify that what they say is in their drug is in their drug. ASEA is not a drug. ASEA is not required, the company is not required to send the product to Bioagilitics because it's not a drug. They're not required to. It's a supplement. But ASEA sends it to them anyway. And they verify that this is redox signaling molecules. It's certainly not salt water. There was a genetic double-blind study just done in this lab, Tort Labs. Look them up. They do genetic studies, gene extraction, gene sequencing, genotype, and gene expression studies. And they found that ASEA turns genes back on. They did a study with salt water as the placebo, and the genes turned on in every single person. Genes turn off as we get older. And it turned every single person had an improvement, a gene turn on by 20 to 31%. And the salt water, you can see the green line, nobody's gene, 0.0% of people had their genes turn on. So if anybody tells you it's salt water, all you have to do is go to amazingmolecules.com and pull up the double-blind study. Now, what do these genes control? We know what these genes control. Look at these 5 things down the right column. Our immune system, our vascular health, digestive health, hormone pathway, reduction in inflammation. And so I'll show you how to see that happen very, very quickly. But the company does not do studies on diseases. These are just showing that these 5 genes get turned back on. And these genes are in children are generally turned on fully. And that's why younger people have better health than older people. This product turns the genes back on. And when people stop drinking this product, the genes turned back off. They did it 8 weeks after the study was over. They did another blood draw and ran it through the same testing, and all the beneficial changes were gone. So you got one product that can affect digestion, the inflammation, hormone, cardiovascular, immune system. It is very, very different than a drug because it exists inside of us all. Now again, I'm going to tell you how to take the product. I showed this slide before. Commit to go 90 days with this drink. I'll show you the gel in just a minute. It is a 30-day money-back guarantee, and I'm going to try to show you how to know it's real within 30 days. But please commit to go 90 days. I cannot tell you how important it is, but I'll show you how to within 30 days. So hopefully you'll know before then. So baseline everything. Like I said, I went through this. Stay well hydrated. This product makes your body produce more of its master antioxidant called glutathione. And glutathione is your detoxifier. It pulls toxins out of your cells. And when you pull toxins out of the cells into the bloodstream, you want to urinate them out. If you don't urinate them out fast enough, you could get a headache, you get a rash. It'll pass, but we want to minimize that from happening. If you drink a lot of water, there's a very small chance that it will happen. Happens in less than 10% of people. It's not a bad thing. It's your body purging itself, cleansing itself of these toxins that are sitting in your fat cells, right? Also, hold the drink in your mouth for 60 seconds before you swallow it. It's getting in immediately. It gets in through water channels, right? Through your mouth, through your membranes, through your esophagus, right? And then after you swallow it, wait 5 minutes before you eat or drink anything. That's the best way to, this is not mandatory. This is just the best way to take it, okay? Now what? How much do you drink? 4 ounces a day for the first 7 days. It's about 120 milliliters a day. Now, usually you split it up in 2 doses, but you'll go through about 1 bottle. At that amount, you'll go through 1 bottle in the first week, okay? Then you go back to this form and you reassess. Well, how are you doing? 15% of people are generally very elated by this point. 15%, they're like, oh my gosh, my friend did not lie to me. And they're very happy. That leaves 85% of people who haven't seen anything yet. Okay, this is important. This is why I never give someone a bottle bottle to take. You know, when people see that this product works, they want to give people bottles. Don't do that. Please, please don't do that. Too much is at stake. You know, 15% of those people are going to be happy. What are 85% of them going to say? I tried it. This stuff doesn't work. You know, they could have a very sick child, and we can't get to that child until we prove to the parent that this is real. And so it's very important. You know, it comes with a money back guarantee, right? So you want people to order, not, you know, you think in a month and 30 days, if you went through one bottle in 1 week, you would think you'd go through 4 bottles in 4 weeks. Well, you will if you're drinking 4 ounces a day. But at day 7, if you are not seeing changes, this is where you temporarily double the amount you're taking, right? There's no worry about cost because it comes with a money back guarantee. But you reassess on the tracking form at day 7. If you are not seeing changes, temporarily increase the amount you're taking. And this is why it's very important to order 2 cases of the product the first month, just the first month, because you have a money back guarantee, okay? And then once you see changes, then you can decrease the amount or just stay at 8 ounces. I drink 8 ounces a day every single day, but it's up to you, okay? Now the gel is a different story. The gel, you can know very, very fast that this is real, and I'm going to show you. And this is the beautiful thing about this, and this is what I love, because I could be sitting talking to somebody who's very skeptical or even cynical, and they don't believe me. If they are, I'm kind of hoping that something in their body is hurting them while I'm with them. Now, not because I don't like them, not because I'm mad at them, but I want them to have some type of pain in their body or stiffness, and I'll show you why. So let's talk about the gel. The gel is marketed for anti-aging. Studies have been done showing what it does for wrinkles, cellulite, within a 28-day trial. These are the results that Dermatest in Germany, an anti-aging product lab, did this study showing that it had these results in 28 days with no toxicity. There's no acids in here at all. It's made from salt and water. It's rejuvenating the skin. This is a great benefit. Okay, wrinkles are not going to change humanity, or it's not a disease that's going to kill anybody. But who wants wrinkles, right? Nobody wants them as you get older. It's nice to look younger, right? I mean, I'll be 58 this year. I first of all, I feel like I'm 25 years old. My oldest child is 26. I feel the same age as him, and people say I don't look my age, and my wife doesn't either. We love the fact that we look younger, right? That whether you call it vanity or whatever, I don't care what you call it. I like looking younger, but more importantly, I like feeling younger, and I like having energy like I did when I was younger. So people also use it for skin problems. But here's the thing, as I say, for people who are hurting. I shot a little video called 3 times in 5 minutes. And the reason I called it 3 times in 5 minutes, it's about a 6-minute video, is because when you find somebody who's hurting, whether it's their neck, their hand, their menstrual cramp, their back, their hip, I don't care where it is. It could be their finger, it could be their hip. Very different joints. One's very deep, one's right here. Doesn't matter to me. I know that within 10 minutes, I can stun 9 out of 10 people. I know that I can shock them. I know that I can have them say, "Oh my gosh, what is this?" 9 out of 10 people within 10 minutes. And how do you do it? 3 times in 5 minutes. They assess their level of hurting on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most. And if they have knee problems and they're sitting and they're not hurting, I will say I'm talking to Joe. I'll say, "Joe, stand up. Did it hurt when you stood up? No. Does it hurt? Can you do this? Can you squat down and come up? Does it hurt?" I want to make it hurt a little bit. I want to, so they can tell me right then what's the number of discomfort, and then they shake up the tube and they put it on 3 times in 5 minutes. So let's say it's their wrist and they move it and it's an 8 because they can't move it very far. It's an 8 out of 10. Take the gel, shake it up, put it on real gently. You don't have to massage it, just gently. Okay. Put it on 3 times in 5 minutes. So put it on, wait 2 minutes, reapply it, wait 2 minutes, reapply it. Now you may never even get to the 3rd time because Joe might say, "Whoa, it may take 1 minute." Don't count on it taking 1 minute. Commit to have people give you 10 minutes and do it 3 times in 5 minutes, and you watch what happens by 10 minutes. You watch it yourself. We can't make claims that this does things for pain because it's not a drug. We'll just say, "Hey, are you hurting?" Try it. It can't hurt. There's no acid. There's no medication in it. There's no smell. There's no greasiness. It just disappears. It's not like an essential oil, which is a great product. This is totally different than this. You don't have essential oils in your body. You have this in you, right? Here's some quick pictures before and after of what it does for wrinkles. This is 28 days. This is not wrinkles. This is due to the sun, right? Young people don't have this kind of damage because their immune system is getting rid of the bad cells. This is 2 weeks. This is a friend of mine, actually, lives in the desert. This woman is in Sweden. She's Norwegian originally, but she's in Sweden now, and she's a live cell microscopist. She can see what this does under a microscope, what the drink does to people's blood, how it improves it. But look, she wants to look younger too. This is a younger person's problem, okay? And it's nice to be able to help younger people. This is a self-image problem. Women reported that their cellulite was getting better, so the company sent the product back to Dermatest to do an actual study, and they proved it increases elasticity in the tissue and it decreases the fat lobule size. I'm not going to go through the rest of this. The company has come out with a nutritional component. I'm not going to go through that because I want to save time and answer questions. The nutritional product's amazing. It is absolutely, there's nothing better nutritionally in the entire world. Asia doesn't have it yet. You'll get it after the convention, which is in September here in the United States. You'll have it there, but it is available in the United States and Europe. They just released it in March, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording this and answer questions. I just want to tell you that your friend is bringing you something spectacular, something that's so important, and I hope that you take it very, very, very seriously now, for your sake and for the sake of someone that you love. Though it may sound too good to be true, and it did to me, my dad was sick with a bad prostate issue. I could not afford not to look into this seriously, and I hope you take it as seriously. And if you when you go to that video 3timesin5minutes.com, 3timesin5minutes.com, you will see the 6 different reasons why people take the time to look at this. And if you end up sharing it with us, we need help getting the word out about this. We want you to help us. Either refer us people once you know this is real, or you can get in the game with us. There's a business here. I'm not talking about the business here in this presentation, but I'm going to be answering questions here about the product. Okay, let me stop the recording.